not supposed to be doing my studio until next month, but I am procrastinating doing my kitchen, so we're doing it now. Hello and welcome back. This was gonna be the third video installment of my packing my apartment for the move. Most of the stuff actually isn't gonna get packed away. We're doing mostly a declutter today. I have my donation pile starting over there, and we're gonna go through basically these shelving units and then my drawer units that I have over there, and then also up here as well. Because there's a lot of stuff that in the 2 years that I've lived here, have not even touched since we moved in, and that's telling me that I don't really need them, so they're gonna get donated. Probably some sketchbooks too. And then I also am going to go into my closet and grab out that giant tub of old sketchbooks and put them in here, just so that I have more space as well, and I want to use those to pack up some of the art supplies in here. We do have a storage unit now. We're hoping to get some stuff in there probably starting next weekend, maybe the weekend after. It is climate controlled. We splurged on that, so I am focusing mostly on keeping everything from getting wet if it happens to flood, but just want to take extra precautions, especially with my art supplies. So I have some podcasts queued up. I'm gonna get going on that. Probably in another video, I do want to go through all of my projects that I did from high school through college, because there's no way I'm taking those across state lines. I have already decided that is something I'm not willing to pay for. So I'm going to go through them all, take pictures, and do a digital archive of them instead, and then pull out some of the better ones and see if my family wants to either have them or if I'm willing, because I have one good portfolio that I'm willing to take across state lines with me, and I'm going to go through all my paper pads and figure out which ones I want to keep and which ones are going to be donated or thrown away if they're actually full, because I do have one in there that's nothing but gesture drawings from my figure drawing class, and it's full. I think I actually have some newsprint ones that'll be really good for when I pack the kitchen. Big brain thoughts. Anyway, I'm gonna get started, so enjoy the voiceover, because I'm going to enjoy my podcasts. Okay, so starting off with bringing out the bucket of old sketchbooks from whence I put them back into that large closet. I just want to move them into that bigger tote that I got, and I'm also showing you that I got jumbo markers because the markers that I had were not sufficing. And also a trash can, because trash. Don't you just hate it when you pull off a sticker and then it just leaves behind that residue? I really hate it when that happens. It's like the worst thing ever. It's so gross. Ew. I didn't really want to mark up these boxes, so I took the little index cards that I got from Daiso whenever I went there to do some cheap office supply shopping, and I used them sort of as makeshift labels, and I would just tape them onto the boxes. That way I can use these boxes for whatever I need to in the future as well. This box is probably going to stay the sketchbook box, but you never know. You never know. I also put the labels on both sides and on top, and I made them a little sparkly as well, just because you need a little bit of fun whenever you're packing. And then I just went through, well, actually first I had to get the box open because it was so heavy that it sort of suction cupped itself to the other box. So I'm having to struggle a little bit, because in order to unsuction cup these, you need two hands, just because the box is so heavy, and I didn't have those two hands, so I sort of had to sit there and struggle with opening it up for a minute. It wasn't fun. I have this tendency of whenever I'm looking through old sketchbooks, I'll just flip through them. So here are a couple of my favorites. This is from Inktober 2017, back when I was in college. I made the theme around my comic book at the time, which I have unfortunately stopped working on. I don't know if I'll ever pick it up, but you never know. That was from the movie Spirit. Oh, there's one of my first wolves. I had the CD where they had like one of the artists showing you how to draw Spirit, so I would follow along. And I actually have tons of those little sketches of the same like steps going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. So I have tons of that one horse sketch. So that little red thing was probably one of my first like actual books. Here's a little thumbnail sketch I did for Mom's painting. And then I'm also putting in the little journals that I've kept. Well, not really journals, but like bullet journals I've kept, and some other little sketchbooks. These are much newer, but will probably go into storage because I don't really pick them up anymore. I'm still impressed with myself on that one. That was a big cathedral in Paris that I painted for my grandparents, my great-grandparents. As I'm pulling stuff off the shelf, I make sure to look at them, hold them, go through them, sort of like Marie Kondo style. And I don't donate a lot of the actual books themselves, the materials, because I still use them. But some of these sketchbooks I do put into the donation pile, like this pad, simply because I have multiple types of this pad, and I use more like Bristol board and watercolor paper more than I do like actual big drawing pads. Those I use mostly for like whenever I feel like making a book, and I have a ton of those. So here I'm just quickly going through everything. These are all big paper pads that I'm actually going to put into a separate box itself, and anything that is a little slightly more than full, like this toned notebook and sketchbook, I make sure to put back into the sketchbook box. This is another thing I donated. This is a sort of canvas board booklet. So I just tore out the pages that were used, and that was literally only 2 pages, and so the rest are going to donation. And I decided to keep that particular sketchbook out because that's my newest watercolor book that I use all the time. So I'm going to keep that one out and take it with me whenever I go back to my parents' house, just so I have something to draw in. So now I'm going back to the bookshelf that I previously cleared off, and I'm taking off the paper and racks that I had on top and going through them real fast and packing them away, because this is also stuff that's going to be ending up in my studio. This is like office supplies that I would use, or a giant stack of paper that I can use for bookmaking. And I also found my old college notebook that I used to plan out my classes. And I tried to do the whole 4-year plan of classes, and I would end up having to go back pretty much every semester and tweak it ever so slightly. So it was pretty much filled with that type of stuff. And then I also went ahead and saved all of my printer paper for both my normal printer and the sticker, or the paper cutter I have back there as well, just so I can make my own stuff for the shop, like my own thank you stickers and everything. So I still have that option. And I also found some old cards that I really like to keep, like the cards around. So I made sure to set those aside. I need to find a good spot to keep them. I did set aside some file folders, which also have letters and cards in them. So I'm going to designate one of those for those cards. Okay, so 30 minutes in and we're here. I have those 2 shelves empty. That's all paint. That's an empty box for the cat. That is travel. And then I'm slowly trying to work on that shelf down there is empty. This is packing materials. And I want to get another one of these for those. Actually, I think they'll be fine in a cardboard box if I just stack them on top of this. So I have, this one is paper pads and some additional loose paper like sticker paper, printer paper. And then I have a little bit more sticker paper in here for this. And plastic mailers, like the protective photo mailers. This one's a little dusty, that's fine though. And some cutting mats. The big cutting mat and the big mailers are in here with the sketchbooks. I need to remember that these are both old and new sketchbooks, which I think I will. I'll look at it and be like, that's not old, because all these down here are ones from past, and some of these over here are ones from past, but my laundry is done. You'll hear the dryer go off here in a minute. So I need to stop and fold those, and then I'll get back to work on this. That's donation, which needs to go in that box. I'll probably do that real fast. But yeah, that's progress so far. It's slow and not much is getting donated yet, but we're getting there. We are getting there. There's nothing too terribly interesting about this shelf. It really only holds like miscellaneous items, mediums that I use for painting, adhesives and everything, which most of them I actually toss because I haven't used them and a lot of them are getting pretty old. So most of them I just went ahead and tossed, and I can replace them when I move again. Because also these materials are pretty flammable and it's going into storage, so I just decided to just go ahead and get rid of everything. That box, I ended up putting any sort of electronic item that didn't already have a home. I put into this box just to sort of hold it, have like a holding place for it for a little bit. You'll see right now that I'm getting pretty frustrated with the way the box is looking, so I'm about to take a quick break from doing the drawers and actually organizing the box. Hi, Peter. Peter boy. Must always sniff. He must always sniff. So basically when I organized this box, I wasn't really thinking about much of anything. I just took stuff out of the boxes that they were already in, made sure to label the bag precisely what the box said, and this is honestly the only HDMI cable I've ever purchased, and I purchased it off Amazon, so I can easily just go back to that order if I need to figure out anything else for this particular item. And then for everything else, I made sure to, with my silhouette, I made sure to keep all the wires together for that. And then I'd also go through and see if they had the same tip or not, and if they had the same tip, they would go in the same bag. And then I just put them back in the box, made the box a little bit more nicer because I was getting a little fed up with it. So that just made me a little happy. And now we have an electronics box. So win-win. Here you can see how amazing I am at camera angles and also how awesome I am at determining the size of the box that I really need for this, because this box ended up being too small. And also, I took a break, and when I came back I forgot to turn the camera on, so the lyric box right there is all of my oil paints, egg plates that my mom got me for the paint, and then also my acrylics. So that's what's in that box. But yeah, I got a bigger box now, and I am not taking any chances of any sort of leaks. So I put all the mediums into plastic bags, and if they break and get onto each other, I can just wash them, that's fine. I just don't want to have them break, soak through the box, and get into another box, because I'm paranoid. I know this is not the most eco-friendly, and I do apologize about that, but I'm sorry, I can't do it. Here you can see I'm trying to figure out what to do next and what to pack next, and that I'm starting to lose most of my energy when it comes to packing this type of stuff. I ended up taking the peppermint bark tin and putting all of the sharps that I knew I wasn't going to be using these next few months into it, and then into that box, just to sort of help protect us and the movers in case anything were to happen to this box, it wouldn't poke out or anything. So all the sharps are in that tin box and in this box, and I just labeled it tools. Here is a look at the absolute explosion that happened during the packing process. So much fun. So much fun. And then with these pencils, I ended up donating all of them, including my watercolor pencils. I don't use pencils. I've never used pencils. I used coloring pencils once in my freshman year of high school for one project. So I don't use these. They're gonna find a better home. Bye-bye. I did pick out the ones that I do use most often, like the Prismacolor Cool Erase pencils that I use for sketching, and that I do plan on getting additional colors too, but everything else can just go. I'm not quite sure what to use these tins for anymore, but we'll figure it out. You can never have enough storage, but you can also have too much stuff for that storage. Now I'm packing away the miscellaneous items that were in my drawers that I'm not going to be using for the next few months. Just go ahead and putting them away so that I have nice clean drawers to work with. So everything left in my drawers now are just stuff that I will momentarily be using the entire time, and or just be coming with me. I'm pretty sure this is going to take me a little bit longer than previously thought, because it is now almost 6:30. I've probably been going at this for maybe 3 hours, and I think I'm only halfway through. So, because I need to still go through this unit. Thankfully, this unit's pretty much done, except for this top drawer here, which is like last to pack up stuff. So I got my checkbook, and then like this is stuff I pretty much use almost on a daily basis right now. And then, you know, batteries, which I have here too. Picked up some batteries. So this is like last minute stuff. That's empty. That's my headphones for streaming, in case you need them, but everything else is empty. And this unit is actually going to go to Joe, because I'm going to try and get a replacement that has the big filing cabinet right here, and then get a secondary filing cabinet because I need a more permanent system other than that box, because I am expanding way too fast. This unit is going to go and become a food store, like a second pantry / bulk storage. This I'm going to keep. I don't know what I'm going to use it for though, but I'm going to keep it because it is very useful for pretty much anything I need to do. So it might actually just go up on the wall if it's, oh, it's pretty heavy. Oh, that's a heavy unit. Never mind. That's not going on the wall, but I could still use it for like books. My big plan is to restain that bookshelf a slightly darker color. It does need a good clean. Many years of use. It needs a treatment. I'm gonna stain it slightly darker and use it for my art books. So that's the plan for that bookshelf, because it's my papa's and I cannot. He has to come with me. Yeah. Big plans for the studio. Big plans. Just a lot of work, because I've decided I'm not gonna do the white anymore. I'm going to do like contact paper on this to make it look like wood, and then probably paint the spindles, the legs, a matte black. I'm going for like an industrial, foresty, hobbity vibe. It has a lot of planning to be done, so we're still planning, but that's what I'm going for. Anyway, I am going to finish up doing the little things. I'm gonna try and figure out a way to pack all these. This is going away. I don't like it. I'm gonna get the shelves, like the little shelves, because these keep falling over. Actually, I should probably, some of these are unusable. Like this one is totally unusable. I don't know what happened to it, but as you can tell, the color is no longer there. So I need to go through these really fast. I think all of them are done with. But I plan on upgrading eventually to all this. So this one's officially staying. Probably gonna get rid of Higgins. I need to get rid of these. These are so old. Drawing gum's good. This is a spray bottle. I wasn't even looking. The drawing gum is good. This is a spray bottle of coffee, so I can do quick sprays. Definitely always need safety glasses. Got some chamois. I don't know what the official name is, but it's for charcoal. Yeah. And then I need to take a picture of this before I take it down, so I can re-put it back up, because it's the Kanban board for the calendar. But this is in a couple months. I have a couple months before that. And then of course I need a day to go through the pads of paper and all the artwork that's in the closet. But yeah, this is progress so far. I guess part 1 of studio packing, because I didn't realize how much I had. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see y'all next time. Bye!